We're now joined by Shye Klein. Shye is a Canadian-Israeli who was at the Nova Music Festival during the attacks by Hamas. He took pictures of the festival before, during, and after the attack. He now helps festival survivors by sharing their stories and images. And Shye, thank you for being with us on this day, this terrible day. First of all, how are you doing?
I'm pretty numb. Yeah. I've been traveling for the last 9 months in and out of Israel, across Canada and the US to over 188 cities, talking about what happened, talking about how the fact that 1 year ago today, I went to my first music festival ever with all my friends, my cousin, and thousands of other people, young people. And before we could finish, before the party ended, Hamas terrorists came and brutally murdered and kidnapped hundreds of people. 40 people were kidnapped from the festival. They killed over 400 people in the worst ways imaginable. And now I'm sitting in Palm Beach, Florida, having been living in Innisfil, Ontario. It's insane. It's surreal.
So can you take us back to a year ago? You were taking pictures at that festival just before the attack. What was the moment when you noticed that something was clearly wrong?
When the rockets began, it wasn't just like 2 or 3 rockets, which is the only, I don't know how to say but it was insane. It was insane. I was standing there looking for my friend, and by the main stage, I see all the people, and it's such an amazing, warm feeling. And then the music stops, and I hear them say over the speaker, red alert, red alert. And we look into the sky, and more people start to notice there's rockets, and it's hundreds, incessantly, just nonstop. And these are close. We are seeing and hearing them. I don't know. The rockets are so close, they probably would have hit the tallest skyscraper in Manhattan. That's how low to our heads they were. And it was like the deep bass of the explosions was heard simultaneously to the interceptions. And I just remember my heart was pounding out of my chest.
Your heart was pounding out of your chest, but your lens was capturing many of those who survived and some, sadly, that did not. You used the images captured that day to create this project titled Beyond the Supernova. Can you tell us more about this project?
So, thankfully, 54 people I photographed at the Nova Festival, 52 of them survived. The 2 that were killed were Dora Avitan and Ran Schaefer. And after they were killed, I felt terrible and I wanted to do something. So first I started by speaking about what happened and sharing their names and sharing their photos and talking about them and everyone else. And then I realized, as important as it is to talk about what happened, we also have to talk about what's happening. Many people who were there, lots of people still have to live every day with what happened and still go through every day waking up and maybe not being able to text their friends or their relatives as they would because they were killed or kidnapped. And it's not like they were just killed in a bombing and everything was so crazy you didn't see anything. These people my age, younger, older, were killed in the most brutal ways imaginable in front of their loved ones. And what that does to people is awful. There are people who are dealing with this trauma in all sorts of ways, and it takes a lot of energy. It's really hard to do, especially when you also now have to deal with bureaucracy and healthcare and government and psychiatry and therapy and this and that. It's so overwhelming. It's hard. And many people are having to make decisions that might not be beneficial for their mental health. Some people are in a position where they have to choose, okay, I don't have a job anymore because I have all these issues now. I don't have a place to live. I'll join the army. People are, I met someone who's chosen to be in the IDF, chosen to go back into reserves and be in the army and risk his life because he doesn't know where else to go and no income. And so what I want to do is with my photo project, I want to highlight and talk about the challenges and struggles and issues that many people are facing even now. And I don't care if only 50 people who are in the Nova want to participate and let me do their photo, that's okay. If it's 50 or 500, it's fine, because the purpose of this is to benefit the whole community. And if they don't want to, that's fine. You know, I would love to photograph 500 or 1,000 people who are there who want to. And
tell me
what
why,
I want to do is,
tell me, Shye, why you think it's important, because you feel as though you're documenting history, right? You feel as though these pictures need to be seen not just a year later, many, many years later.
not just the pictures, but people have to understand the humanity behind individuals. You know, the way we're spoken about in media is a little dehumanizing. Like, there's nothing to each of these people besides being a victim or a survivor. But, you know, all of these people's stories from the 7th of October and everything after that they're facing with, they're important and they need to be heard. And even more so because now with mental health, this is a first in history. There's never been, you know, a terror attack, a mass casualty event where so many people under the influence were the target. You know, we were totally helpless. The oldest person there was 75, the youngest person was 17. And for 6 hours, they just ruined the lives of thousands.
Shye, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shye Klein joining us from Palm Beach, Florida. Shye photographed the Nova Festival during the attacks by Hamas.